So I'm going to be potting some herbs that I got today, including this peppermint. It smells really good. And this English lavender. So they're very small. I'm gonna be putting them in this pot right here. And let me show you my pot. It's a beautiful Talavera painted pot that I have here. And I already have some soil in it, but I'm going to be adding a little bit more just to fill it in. And these plants are both full sun. So let me show you the information here on it. Peppermint, and then it has the info on the back. So it says full sun, perennial. It likes humus rich, well-drained soil. May be invasive if left unchecked. So I'm planting it on a pot, so that shouldn't be a problem. And then I have the English lavender. That's also a perennial, also full sun, mid to late summer. That's when it's going to be flowering. So I'm hoping for some lavender flowers. I actually tried planting some seeds of both of these plants, and they haven't worked out for me too well. I'm still going to try it again closer to the summer to see if maybe the heat is what is needed in this case. But I do have one lavender plant that actually sprouted. So I'm putting all my hopes in that one plant. But I wanted to get a little bit bigger plants to fill in the spot and to have the herbs that I want and need for the season. So hopefully these plants will get bigger and bigger and they will last for a long time. So let me get to planting and show you the process. Alright, here I have my pot, and I have a little bit more soil here behind camera that I'm going to be adding to them to fill it in a little more. I've been working a lot out here with my plants, trying to keep them wet because I have them in full sun. The back porch here is full sun, it's facing south. So I have to make sure that the plants have the water they need every day, which is okay because I like coming out here and checking on them anyway. So you can see it has very healthy roots and very beautiful leaves. So I'm very excited and hopeful for this plant. So I'm gonna put it right here. Let me move the camera up a little bit so you can see. So I was thinking I would put these together for now since they're small enough, but later on I will transplant one of them. Hopefully they'll both make it. Now this is the lavender. Looks very healthy, very beautiful. And price wise, this one was $2 and the lavender was $3.25. And I went to a local nursery. I wanted to check them out and try it out before I went to the big box garden center. So I wanted to try them out since they're a local business. I do like supporting local businesses since I am one myself. Right. So put a little bit more dirt around it. Make sure it's well covered. And I use these herbs a lot in the summer. Well, all season, but the lavender I love putting in smudge sticks. I love making lavender tea and lavender sachets for aroma. And the spearmint, I love to put it in watermelon water in the summertime. Whether it's spearmint or peppermint. In this case, this one's peppermint. But they're very similar. They have a slightly different taste, but nothing major. Okay. So here are both of them planted. And they look beautiful in this Talavera pot, I think. And I'm going to be adding a little bit, some figurines here in the front. I have some garden fairies that I'm going to be putting here in the front while it fills in. I have some little fairies, and I have some little fairy friends, bunny and some ducks. And they're all gonna be hanging out among the herbs. And lastly, I'm just gonna give this a little bit of water. So I have my watering can here. So I'm just going to give them some water since I'm placing them in full sun. So here I have some of the seeds that I planted at the end of March, and some of these have developed some pretty good roots, like the squash, summer squash. So I'm going to be transplanting them into this bigger tray to give them a little bit more space. But look at how beautiful all of these are. Very excited. So I had 9 of these zucchini, and I think I'm going to leave these squash here for now. I think I might have some bigger trays for those as well. For these are the yellow summer squash. And then I also have cucumber. Let's see what that looks like. It seems like the cucumber hasn't developed enough roots yet. I think some of this squash might be ready to transplant. So I think I'm gonna do a few in here as well. Some of this summer squash. You hear the birds. I think they're the wrens. There's some wrens on the tree. So I'm hoping at least some of these survive. The batch that I planted inside isn't doing too well. I did transplant those to a bigger pot. And I think maybe a couple of them are doing alright, but most of them I don't think are gonna make it. And they were elongated because I did grow them inside. And I'm thinking they didn't have enough sun. So we'll see if these do better. They're already doing better in terms of growth. But hopefully we'll have a higher survival rate in these. That we did with the others. Okay, so these are the squash, the cheaper brand. Here's a new tray with the seedlings. Here is an update on my plants. You can see how the weather has gotten hot. It's very sunny today. Everything is green now. I've gotten a few new plants, and that includes some herbs. I got some mint and some lavender as well. 2 different kinds of lavender. I've gotten some bleeding heart. This pretty thing is called Icanthus. Some other little flowers, Binka. Pop of red for my hummingbirds to attract them to the feeders. We got some basil, and everything is doing beautifully, as you can see. When I took the plants out, because the weather was getting warm, they lost a lot of leaves, especially the crowns of thorns here. But as you can see, they are recovering, and there's new leaves coming out, there's flowers. These plants are full sun, so I knew they weren't going to die because of that, but they needed some time to acclimate to the new environment that they were placed in. You know, I had them inside in the shade with just the plant light. And if you notice, I have a black cloth covering some of them down there because I'll show you down here. This plant is getting a little bit sunburned, and I don't want it to get too damaged. It already has some sun damage right there, which is fine. I knew it would suffer some damage when I brought it out here, but I don't want it to get too bad. It's doing well. It's not going to die with the sun. It just needs a little bit of protection. So I have some cuttings down there, begonia, some cactus growing down here, sedum. Same thing up here. Have cactus, some other succulents, my Hoya, which is doing beautifully but also getting a little bit sunburnt. So this cloth blocks a large percentage of the sun, and I like to put it on there the hottest part of the day, which is right now. So it definitely helps a lot. And the shelving unit I have blocks a lot of the sun too, but like that one, which is sticking out, is still touched by the sun, so the cloth is what protects it. And over here, all of these are doing really beautifully. The nasturtium has beautiful leaves. Hopefully you'll get some flowers. I'm excited about the bleeding heart. I just got that this past weekend. I've never grown it, but this plant was so beautiful and so inexpensive as well. My poncera that I've had since last winter. The basil is doing well, but it seems like something might have started to eat it, so I might have to move it from here. Oh, and then I have all my seedlings on this side. I planted these a while ago, and I'm finally seeing some radishes, which is really exciting. And then I have eggplant, I have the yellow squash, I have some tomato plants right there. I have more radishes in this long pot. I have my bougainvillea, which also lost all of its leaves, but it is also a full sun plant, so all of the leaves are coming back, so you can see, and it's going to have some blooms, I think, later on this summer, because every year it gives me blooms. I have the summer squash here, and I planted some extra seedlings here. These were just planted last month. I have a lot of zinnias, some butterfly weed, more tomato plants here. Have cucumber and some other decorative plants there. My ponytail palm, which is doing beautifully. It has some damage at the top right there because the bougainvillea fell on it. The bougainvillea was up here, but we had a really strong winds and it fell on it, but I think it will be fine. I have some little basil plants growing here, more basil. I have pepper and tomato and zinnias. The pepper and tomato aren't doing so well. They've been struggling. I planted some cilantro in here and some sedum here, and it's just coming out. I planted these a few weeks ago, not too long, and my butterfly weed is doing very well right there. All of them have survived, and something came up from there. I think it might be cucumber, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. I have zucchini here, summer zucchini or squash. I have some more radish, and I planted these lettuce heads that I had for lunch a week ago, and I just placed them in here, and there's now a new head of lettuce growing from each of them. So that is very exciting, to make food out of food that I bought at the grocery store. And up here I have a few extra plants of tomato. These are a little bit more mature. I have some different greens growing here. I have some sedum with beautiful flower. It's pink, there's white, and then there's some zinnia right there. So I just wanted to give you a short update on my plants and how the weather is doing here in the beautiful mountain region. It's warming up, it's doing beautifully. I'm getting some artwork done. I'm getting some work done in my garden here, my pot garden. A lot of vegetables, hopefully this summer, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. And hopefully I'll have an art video for you very soon. It's a little bit harder for me to get myself to record when I'm doing artwork. But I have some ideas for art videos and journaling videos coming up. So thank you for bearing with me, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe and like, and leave me a comment if you like. And until next time.